Now, speaking of which, we do have a fan question here from Daniel Sharud, and he asks, of course, this is in reference to what happened just a couple of days ago. Liverpool took a few years until Jurgen Klopp to reach the top of their football again. How long would Manchester United need, given the current team under Ole, and would a better manager be needed?
Well, listen, I mean, Ollie's given himself a chance. You know, he had a really fantastic start at the beginning, then through the middle section of it, he kind of struggled a little bit, but seems to seem to bring back the energy back into the team. He's brought in two good signings in Gallo, and certainly Bruno seems to revitalize them in so many aspects. But I do believe that United really, in terms of winning Premier League again, we are probably a year or two out, to say the least, when you look at the likes of Liverpool, the way how they are playing at the moment. And certainly City is going to come back bigger and stronger next year. I think Chelsea is improving as well. So I think the competition is really going to get tough in terms of who's going to win the Premier League next year. But certainly Liverpool set the benchmark this year, and we are a long way behind them at the moment. So we have some catching up to do. But I realize that probably, I will say, between 2 to 3 years, we expect to win the Premier League once again.
But the one club in the battle of that top four that's making great signings and making moves ahead of their rivals has got to be Chelsea. Who do you think will reach the top of the Premier League first? I know this is a bit of a long way to tell. Will it be Manchester United or Chelsea, you think?
Is that for me?
Yes, so yes, for you, Dwight. My apologies.
Okay, sorry. Yeah, I mean, I'm a Red through and through. So I suppose the way how I've seen the team, I think from an attacking point of view, I think we look very awesome. We got a lot of pace and power. We certainly got creative players as well. So from an attacking point of view, I think we can go, head to head with the very best in the country. Defensively, still think we need maybe another centre half in there as well. I'd like to see another centre half that gives us a little bit more stability. Yeah, so I don't think we're too far off. I think we maybe just ahead of Chelsea, but I'm sure Frank Lampard will have a lot to say about that as well.
Any names at the top of your head for a centre half?
No, I'd rather keep my opinion to myself. I'm afraid I don't like to be spurring too much on national television about centre half. I think that's the manager job. I'm sure he will have his own players in his mind who would like to come to the football club. But as I said, from an observing point of view, I do believe that we still need to strengthen in that department. I think we're okay in midfield now, and I think we're looking good up front with the young boys up there. And yeah, so let's see what's happened next year.
Grant, perhaps you're a bit more neutral on this. So do you actually think that Ole is the right man to take Manchester United to the next level?
I think he's the right man to take them there. I think it's really important. Dwight hit the nail on the head. This year is about getting in the Champions League. Man United need to be a side that are in the Champions League. We all know they can attract the big players because they are arguably one of the biggest clubs, if not the biggest in the world, especially brand-wise. And I think for Man United, they need to be in the Champions League because they need to get the best players in the world that want to go to Manchester United, because then the best players in the world want to play in the Champions League. It will be worrying that Chelsea's gone out and signed Werner. It's a massive signing, especially when everyone thought he was going to go to Liverpool and he's turned around and gone to Chelsea. So that'll be worrying a few people. I think there's a few clubs in the background where, like Dwight said, I think Man City will be in the market for a centre-half as well. I think Man United will be. And they'll strengthen again. That's the one thing that's brilliant about the Premier League. There's so much quality that wants to come here. And I think it's going to be a great battle last year. I don't think it'll be as wide open as it's been this year for sure. I think it'll be a lot tighter. And I think it'll be very close next year. I think there'll be a group of 4 or 5. I don't think it'll be a runaway.
So, Grant, who do you think they should be signing, or where do you think they should strengthen?
No, I think it's noticeable that they need a centre half. I think they've talked about it for a long while. There's a centre half needed. That's the main issue. It has been. They've had a lot of injuries in that department. They've sent a lot of lads out on loan. I think Harry Maguire, I think we all know getting the armband is going to be predominantly there. I think they need to get someone with him, and I think that's their main priority. I think forward-wise, they're fine. I think Agallo has came in and scoring goals. I think he'll be around a little bit longer. And look what they've got coming off the bench. If you look, they've made 8 changes today, and you look at their squad is absolutely fantastic. I don't think that they're too far off. I think he's just given Ollie the time, giving him the consistency with that group of players to get the best out of him. And I think we're starting to see that after the lockdown.
Centre half for both of you, but I'm just going to have to ask this fan question who was submitted to us by R1. He says, should United spend big in the transfer window by acquiring the likes of Jadon Sancho for that right wing spot and dynamic holding midfielder like possibly Solniguez or Thomas Partey? United have the squad depth and the first team quality to challenge next season for the Premier League titles. Now, a couple of names are dropped there. What do you think, Dwight?
Yeah, I mean, the boy Sancho has obviously been too highly talked about in the media and certainly been linked to United for the last few months. And understandable, he's a really good talent. He's English born, so why not get him back to the club? We always, like the English players in terms of the young and the ability, and he certainly seems to be showing that at the moment. But yeah, I mean, United has got a real good attacking bunch of young players. Adding Sancho, I like the boy Sane. If I had to airdrop the boy Sane at City, I really do. We haven't got a left-footed sort of winger. I mean, the boy Greenwood is come into the fold recently, but I like Sane. I really do think this kid is probably the quickest thing out of all of them as well, and he's really got a good attitude. I know he's got some injuries, but if I was brave, like if I was Man United manager at this point in time, that's the type of person I will go for. He's had a couple of years in the Premier League. I watched him very closely. He's a player that I like a lot. I mean, the boy Sancho's is obviously up there as well. But if you can't get them, why not be brave and go for a player who's played across next door and cause some stir and just stir it up a little bit. That's what I will do.
What about you, Grant? What are your thoughts on it?
Yeah, you definitely take Sancho. He just give you that little bit difference. I think he's gone away and he's learned everything he needs to learn now to come back and play in the Premier League. Defensive midfielder, I can't see them go for any midfielder. I said McTominay has just signed a new contract. You've got Pogba, who looks like he's staying now. You've got Fernandes, you've got Matic, you've got Fred, just to name but a few, and they've got kids in down the chart that can come in. I think definitely a wide man they will go for. I think with Rashford and Greenwood, Mason's coming on, but he's probably another year off, probably starting week in, week out. And I think there's probably the areas. I think probably a wide man, maybe another centre forward. They might go and splash a bit of cash on another one just to give him a little bit more. But I would have thought it'd be centre half and either a right winger or a left winger for me.